Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you and welcome to the XL Arena here in London as Frank Warren presents the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Queensberry Promotions in association with Fury Promotions and Hennessy Sports. Sponsored by Raynham Steel, Coral, JD Sports, and Man Up Gym Wear. Our main event is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, the President Francisco Valcarcel, Supervisor in attendance Marcus Aslani, along with the European Boxing Union and the British Boxing Board of Control. The Supervisor and Steward in charge is Charles Giles. Introducing to you our three judges, scoring from ringside, all from England. From Doncaster, Michael Alexander. From Preston, Phil Edwards, and from Birmingham, Terry O'Connor. Our referee in charge, he'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Marcus McDonald. All right, fans, here we go with the Bad Blood main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Heavyweight World Title Eliminator and the European and British Heavyweight Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from London, it's showtime! Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, hailing from Manchester, England. He weighed in at 18 stone, 12 pounds, or 264 US pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 22 wins, no losses, 16 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former British heavyweight champion, currently ranked number 5 in the world by the IBF, number 4 by the WBO. Here is the hard-hitting, colorful, and undefeated heavyweight contender, introducing Tyson Fury. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with silver trim, fighting out of Finchley in London. He weighed in at 17 stone, 3 pounds, 8 ounces, 241 1/2 US pounds. His record stands at 20 wins, 4 losses, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former world title challenger and the current WBO number 1 ranked contender. Here is the WBO International and European Heavyweight Champion, introducing Derek Del Boy Chisora. Let's get a referee in charge now to give instructions, Marcus McDonald.
I spoke to both instructions, not I expect, out of profession all times, obey my instructions. It's defend yourself at all times. Any questions? Any questions? Let's go to work. Touch gloves.
Well, last time Tyson Fury won this fairly clearly. 118 and 111 on one card, twice 117, 112. That was 3.5 years ago. Derek Chisora has produced some pretty impressive performances since then. Malik Scott, Edmund Gerber, Kevin Johnson, all recent victories for him. Tyson Fury, they had that one fight in the last 19 months against Joey Abel, and on that occasion he was not in great shape. 19 stone 8. Different story now, though, you'd suspect, Eddie.
You can see he actually came into camp in really good shape. So it was fairly easy to prepare and get started in camp.
Well, the tactics of Chisora, Barry, surely he's going to have to, well, he's talked about fighting like Joe Frazier. He's going to have to roll his way in and swarm all over him.
Yeah, and coming in light, you would suspect that they're going to be his tactics. Coming nice and light, plenty of head movement, dipping as low as he possibly can, making Tyson look for the target. And the key for Tyson is everything's going to be behind that jab. Lovely uppercut.
Clipped him with the right hand, caught him off balance, and Chisora knocked back, but not hurt, I don't think.
One thing Derek is going to have to do is going to have to basically give him give Tyson all the opportunity to land shots, because that's the only way he's going to have a real chance of getting inside and landing anything to the body. He's going to have to bull his way in. It's going to be very difficult with somebody who moves like Tyson at this stage.
Big right hand is the danger shot as ever for Chisora. Has beaten big men in the past. Think of, well, he didn't get the verdict against Hellenius the Finn, but he certainly won the fight.
Yeah, he won that easy. But even though dipping low is dangerous, you're going to walk into an uppercut, it's harder to land with an uppercut than it is with a straight right hand. So I think you're better off playing the odds there, aren't you? To stay nice and low and rolling forward.
Left hand from Chisora was low, to put it mildly. Another one looked as though it was borderline. Chisora straight away trying to turn it into a brawl and get Fury out of his rhythm, because Tyson started this fight nicely.
Yeah, he's working well behind the jab. I don't know why all of a sudden he's changed the pouring with it, pushing out with it, when he's working effectively, when he's just throwing it.
Really, that's his only chance, is to really, like I said, bull his way in. Just he can't really box and get on the outside of nobody with 6'9" like this that moves. So, it's just the best tactics for him at this point is to come forward.
But he has to throw punches, like with the David Hay fight. He come forward a lot, didn't let his hands go enough.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. That's why he was losing that fight before he got caught.
Right. And was possibly caught ultimately by arguably the best punch that David Hay's ever thrown. Another word for the low punch, second warning, and the suggestion that he will take a point away from Chisora if he does it again.
Well, Tyson landed a nice little combination there, but Chisora just smiling and keep coming forward.
There was another low one.
Notice the tactics, though, with Tyson moving around and peppering him as he comes in, and then once he gets too close to let go, he grabs a hold and turns and get back to the middle. Doesn't get a turn. That's how it's supposed to be done.
It was a nice little combination just then from Fury. A 1-2 and then a nice little left uppercut, all landing through the gloves of Chisora. And I think that was a good start there from Tyson Fury.
Yeah, looked nice and confident and relaxed, letting his punches flow. And I think Peter Fury is going to be happy in that corner. Let's hear. Well, we'll have a look again. Some of the action, first of all. That's where he was caught. That was where he was caught off balance.
Yeah, but he's going to have to commit himself, so sometimes he's going to have to bring that right foot forward, which he won't want to do. That was a low shot there with the left hand. But that's the idea, that he's got to try and work that body, hasn't he? Chisora, as Eddie was saying, stay nice and low, work the body, come forward.
And that was the second one. Marcus McDonnell having a good word.
Good feet. Let's use it, okay? Yeah. You understand? Okay, box. You can box. You know you can box. Good boy.
Clearly the first round there for Tyson Fury, Barry.
Yeah, for me, I think he dominated with the jab in the early stages, landed enough uppercuts, enough clear shots, and Derek, landed a few cuffing punches, but nothing of real note.
I really don't 100% agree exactly what Don was saying, is at the end talking about, he's a good boxer and everything like that. You can't box at distance with somebody like this that's 6'9". He has to find a way in, work quick feet side to side. There's no way he's going to be able to do anything with this here.
I guess you're a similar size, aren't you, to Derek Chisora? So you, in a way, you're kind of the ideal guy to actually prepare him for this sort of contest against Chisora.
And I have a lot more dexterity, no disrespect to Chisora, but I'm a lot lighter and a more fluid of a fighter, and it's hard for me to get him in the corner. So imagine him just walking and plodding in. You have to come in with speed and agility and accuracy in order to land big shots on Tyson.
He just tried it then, Derek, just a minute ago. Just tried to quicken his feet.
Right, that was a much better try that time.
Yeah, but it's going to be exhausting him to do that.
Yeah, for 12 rounds, yeah.
Not getting a lot of success in the early stages of this fight, really, Chisora.
Oh, nice little shot there from Fury again, who's boxing southpaw at the minute. So that sort of takes away that big overhand right of Derek Chisora, a punch which he had a lot of success in the first fight.
Good body shot, a couple of nice punches, and good fast hands from Fury. Chisora just lumbering forward, trying to get into range to hurl that big right hand.
Can't look for one shot in a situation like this.
There it is. Didn't land clean.
Notice most of the time Derek's just going straight in and straight back, and it's not going to work. Not going to work like that. He's going to have to come in on angles.
Yeah, he's just overreaching there, and Tyson just not quite quick enough to make him pay, but he wasn't far off.
Oh, that's a good shot from Fury, good accuracy.
He's actually boxing quite well as a southpaw, very effective.
Well, I have seen him take fights in the past where he's fought exclusively southpaw. Jabbing nicely with that right-hand lead.
This is another issue for Derek to worry about. He's got to find now a different way of covering a different angle. And it gets to be a bit confusing as the fight goes on.
Well, you've got to reposition your feet, haven't you, when you're boxing a southpaw, which makes sure that, like you said, it's a whole new way of thinking about attack.
Yeah. Now he's got a whole other thing to think about.
Chisora backpedaling, seeing if he gets any more luck allowing Fury to come to him. All Fury so far, really.
As tough as Derek is, you know, to take this kind of punishment from a big man like that for too long is going to be very difficult. Over the course of a 12-round fight, it's just too much. He's going to have to find another way.
Well, taking punches takes it out of you, doesn't it, as well, physically. I mean, not just it hurts you, I mean, like, physically knackers you out.
Yep. Well, that is a clear round, another clear round for Tyson Fury. Got problems in this corner, let's have a listen.
How are you feeling? Put your feet out. Spit. Talk to me. How are you feeling? What's wrong with you? So listen, you're handing it to him on a plate. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
We need to use our feet. Do what you do naturally. Use your feet. Nice, tight feet. Yeah?
My feet are not working.
Your feet's not working. Exactly. Get him working. Give him angles. Don't just keep walking in straight line. Remember, come on angles. Work it in with a jab. Double jabs. Okay? Stop looking for that big shot. You need to hold center ring. Do not back off from this guy. You understand?
Well, certainly worried. Chisora not really in the fight at all so far, Barry.
No, and he looks a little bit sorry for himself in the corner right now. But I think the double jab thing's a good idea. And just hit anything for now. You just feel like you're having a little bit of success. If you're hitting arms, gloves, you can build on that, so some momentum to work from.
It's tremendously frustrating, and believe me, I understand where he's coming from in some of these instances here. He's just not by nature, you know, a quick guy side to side, and it's going to be very difficult for somebody just coming straight in on Tyson Fury. Long arms, speed, and good movement, and good punching power. And he's going to have to find another way.
And Fury again fighting out of the southpaw stance so far in this round.
Well, the difference between this and the first fight, when Tyson was throwing jabs, I know he's boxing orthodox.
There's a right hand though from Chisora. Oohs and ahs from ringside.
The Fury was leaning forward with the jab in the first fight. This now he's sitting on the back foot and throwing it, so he's keeping a nice long distance, making Derek overreach for the target.
One thing about having this much success in a fight is you got to stay grounded and understand it. Hey, look, you got to stay with it. You know, don't get too relaxed and too comfortable. That's how you get caught with crazy shots that you don't see coming.
Big betting favourite, Fury. Price this morning something like 11-4 on. The value is with Chisora. But how many people really think that he's going to win this fight? And the signs in the early stages here, not good.
Nothing on those punches, but it's just frustrating, isn't it, for Chisora? Just peppering him with jabs, keeping him at range, keeping him away.
Marcus McDonald just having a look at Fury and just telling him to punch correctly.
You know what they say, steady drop of water and bust a rock. Keep on slapping somebody in the forehead for long enough, it's going to feel like somebody's throwing a car at you. So you got to get those hands up, move his head.
Marathon night of boxing action here at the XL Arena. And this at the moment, after the vivid drama of that last fight between Billy Joe Saunders and Chris Eubank Jr., at the moment a little bit more sort of a calm atmosphere, and Fury is dominating.
Yeah, but just a minute ago there was some good head movement from Chisora. He had to let a punch go. He did one move too many and he got caught.
It's going to take a lot of that, a lot of work just to get average results, and that's what is so difficult about being a smaller man in this division.
Solid left hand from Fury to the body of Derek Chisora.
Then he has to deal with, you know, laying on him and holding. Believe me, that takes rounds out of you with a big man.
Yeah, that's true. You know, coming in light for the mobility is a great idea, I think. But then obviously, you're coming in against a much heavier guy, and you haven't got to wait to absorb it.
Another round for Tyson Fury, Barry?
Yeah, I think so, John. Yeah, again, a better box. I think Derek's getting a little bit closer every time, but just not being effective enough as yet.
Peter Fury is the man giving the instructions here.
Get a little bit lighter on your feet. You're holding your feet a bit much because you're looking to land the bomb, yeah? Lighten up with your shots, yeah? Play with him a little bit more, yeah? Just don't set where he can get a big overhand right over, yeah? He's got nothing about him. There's no jabs, there's nothing. Just play with it like a cat playing with a ball, yeah? And open him up. Let the rounds go. Keep kicking him away, chopping at the block. Don't rush anything, yeah? And he'll walk into problems. So just keep doing what you're doing. Sneak in a straight left. Feinting up, switch up now and again for a few seconds, then switch back. Confuse him, yeah? Yeah? Understand?
Chisora a little bit slow to get up off his stool. And just wanting to get some grease, I think, mopped away from the eyes. Marcus McDonnell, brother of Jim, the man giving the instructions.
Little things like that is hard sometimes for the lay fan. They don't quite see it. You know, like see Derek make a little shuffle to his I think it's to his right, and then Tyson switch and come back to the left. Puts him right back at that full arm length distance. And you'd be surprised how much that can affect the fighter, especially from the southpaw position where he's like he's standing now.
That's good work from Fury off the ropes there. Yeah, he's just counteracting his movements, isn't he?
Yeah. And like I said, for a small man, you know what I mean, to try to get in is going to make that even more difficult. Not saying he's a small man, he's not that small.
No, but compared to the most of the heavyweights nowadays, it's huge.
Been impressed with the accuracy of Fury tonight, boys. He's maybe not loading up on his punches as much as he can, although Peter Fury, his trainer, was telling him not to do precisely that. But I've been impressed with his accuracy.
Finally gets him where he wants and looks for the big shot, throws a couple punches, and hits nothing but air. You know, that's the frustration that it is with fighting somebody 6'9" from that distance, even at close range sometimes.
Nice uppercut from Fury.
Left hand there from Chisora. Yeah, he's just loading up a little bit too much when he gets in close. I think he should let his hands go, get some momentum in his work when he is close. But this is where he needs to beat the work. And Tyson doing what you said he was going to do, just leaning on and using all that weight.
Yeah. Got to use his advantages there. He's using his boxing ability, movement, and he's also using his weight when they get inside. Derek's only shot is when they get inside, and then he uses his weight on them at that point. So then what can he really do?
Has been caught in the past, of course. Fury has been on the canvas, but it's kind of you've watched him and you've watched it happen. You kind of thought it's sometimes happened because of concentration issues as much as anything.
Exactly, I agree with that 100%. And right now, in the way Peter has him focused and the way we're training, definitely going to stay focused throughout the whole fight. None of those.
Oh, he's caught him with a solid left hand. And there's a little bit of a wobble from Chisora. He was off balance, but he looks a bit stunned here, and Fury knows it.
Yeah, good little left hook, wasn't it? Just around the guard on Fury.
And Chisora at the moment is on the wrong end of pretty much everything.
But he hasn't let that right angle, Chisora, is he? There. He needs that over. Where's that big right hand over the top? That is usually his favourite punch.
But looking for that one shot, he's not going to do it. He's going to have to maybe tap, 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 then throw a big shot over the top.
Well, that's another round for Tyson Fury, 4-0.
And a big round, that one as well, John. He dominated that.
See? Yeah. What I'm saying to you, yeah?
Bad blood is what they've called it between these two.
Nice little up. This is, you know. Just stumbled there a little bit, didn't he?
He was off balance, but it's still a cute shot, isn't it?
It's a good shot, it is. Good shot. Good movement from Fury, to his credit. Spinning off the rope and attacking from a different angle. But Chisora got a good chin, we all know that. And hurt for a second, but his eye looks to be maybe possibly closing.
Cross your right.
He's taken one there.
You're falling on top of him. Okay, good boy.
Use that beautiful.
He won't stop trying, no. I can guarantee that.
Derek's definitely a very proud fighter. He's going to keep on coming, keep on doing his best to land that big right hand.
Into the 5th round, and Chisora needs something to turn the tide here. Atmosphere fairly subdued in this huge arena because, quite frankly, it's all a little bit one-sided.
Yeah, but he's doing a little bit of what he did with David Haye. He's doing the right movements to come forward, but he's not throwing the punches. I know it's a different prospect, could he got a much taller guy, but just the beginning of this round, then he's doing the right movements. He's getting into range to let his hands go. Just not doing it, not relaxing enough to throw, or just wary of what's coming back, possibly.
It's a lot continues to come back. And when it's one-way traffic, sometimes the fighter just gets complacent and just, I'm just going to keep my hands up. Try to go the distance.
Chisora just chugging forward, but not letting those hands go. Fair play. Fury showing that he's got some decent footwork. He does get a little bit of encouragement there, though, Chisora.
Yeah, they're the right side. He let it go. The positive side, he let it go. It didn't. It landed, not flush, but it landed.
Right eye of Chisora is starting to show conspicuous signs of damage. Fury holds on and ties up once more.
Using that weight again.
It's a little bit wild, a little bit scrappy with his work at the moment, Chisora.
Oh, it's a good shot.
Very good shot. The drawback of being a shorter guy in the heavyweight division now. Even when you're in a good place, sometimes you get caught with good shots.
Well, Tyson Fury said that he'll do to Derek Chisora what David Haye did. He said that he'll knock him out, and here we are in the 5th round. On that rainy night at Upton Park, it's around about now that David Haye started to find the huge shots.
Chisora's just lacking just a little bit of confidence. And he'll keep trying, but he's not with the same conviction as you would expect. Bit of a backhand of the glove there, wasn't it? From Fury.
He's getting comprehensively outboxed right now, Chisora, and not making it a terribly competitive fight. At last, leaps in behind the left hook, but that's another comfortable round for Tyson Fury. I wonder what Don Charles in the Chisora corner is going to make of all this.
Give me some water. Spin. Listen. He's walking away the rounds. He's nicking the rounds that we said. All right? Okay? I don't want to have to rely on to stop this guy to win. Work with him. He's just peppering you with jabs. A lot of them are not scoring, but he's looking good. As in with the jabs. Yeah?
If I blow my eye, I feel like I'm going to pop out.
No, you're fine. Your eyes are good. Yeah? They probably feel worse than what they look.
Get your rhythm together.
Get your rhythm. Don't stay flat in front of this guy. Where's that beautiful footwork that we have? Yeah? Come on, we're seeing it in parts. You need to create your jab. Single jab, double jab. Single jab, double jab. Then everything will come off of it. You understand?
Doesn't look a happy guy at the moment, Barry.
No, well, he's not having no success, John. Not even a glimmer of hope coming his way. And when he gets in the positions where you do think that he might have some success, Eddie, he's just not getting no luck.
Yeah, he's getting tied up. Tyson's laying his weight on him, and like I said, over time, it's going to wear you down.
Well, they've said that that eye is not a problem, but it didn't look too clever to me. Better from Chisora, needs more of the same. Protesting to Marcus McDonald that he's not being allowed to throw shots. That's part of the game.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. You don't get a turn. Nobody in boxing is going to sit there and trade with you, you know what I mean, for fun. You know what I mean? You got to go in there and you got to find your way.
But to be honest, I think Fury's slowed down on his work rate a little bit. He's not as effective with the jab as he was earlier in the fight. So this is an opportunity for Chisora to get all over him.
After the vivid drama of the last fight, it's not really quite matching it so far. Might change, you never know. That's the beauty of heavyweights. Sometimes it only takes one shot.
Very true. Anything, boxing is very unpredictable. Maybe a shot come out of nowhere and change the course of the fight.
And the reason this is not as exciting as the first, because they're better fighters than they were the first time round. So that they made more mistakes, which made it a more enjoyable fight to watch.
A lot of these Fury jabs have been taken on the gloves, but there's others like those which are spearing through the guard.
The thing is, Chisora's sort of trying to walk Fury down, which is okay. It's fine if you're making him work hard, but I don't think he's making him work hard enough.
He really can't. As he comes in, he keeps getting peppered with 2 or 3 shots. Even if they're not hard, like I said, steady dropping water, bust the rock. Eventually, it's going to have too much of an effect.
Yeah.
The voice of Eddie Chambers with Barry Jones here alongside me at ringside at the XL Arena, and there's a few boos from the crowd who'd expected more from this fight.
Good left hand there from Fury from the southpaw stance. Oh, there's that right hand from Chisora. Didn't quite connect properly, but at least he's committed to letting himself go with it. Just really committed with it, just threw it with everything.
Looking at Derek's mouth open.
He's getting busted up.
Yeah, he's taking quite a bit of a beating here. So look over the next few rounds and see what Don says about this continuing.
Well, his mouth's getting busted. His right eye's gone. And it's pretty much one-way traffic. And Fury playing with him in the closing stages of that round. Another emphatic round for Tyson Fury.
Yeah, pretty much the same as the previous 5, John, wasn't it, really? Tyson dominating things behind the jab.
Do you want to be in this one?
Yes, I want to be in.
Right. Get a move on. He's just slapping you with backhands and he's catching you with that. Come on, man. You're better than that. You fought people better with better jabs than that. Switch on. Yeah? That was round 6 gone. Yeah?
No more straight lines.
Okay? No more straight lines. Use your feet, baby. Okay? Use your feet. Have a drink.
He's going to have to stop him, isn't he, Barry? And you can't see for the life of me. I can't see for the life of me where it's coming from.
No, I can't either. He's really struggled tonight. Struggled to shorten the gap. Struggled to get in the range. When he has, he struggled to let his hands go. Just in every possible angle you can think of, he's just going a little bit second best.
Well, you heard Don Charles asking him whether he wanted to be in there, Derek Chisora, and had he not answered positively at that stage, I think he might have pulled him out. And I do wonder, looking here, how much further this is going to go.
I agree 150%. He's getting to the point now where you got to think about your fighter and his future, and if he wants to continue this fight. Too much punishment.
He's getting a pasting.
Yeah, he's getting a bit of a going over now, especially Fury's come up with a little bit of intent in this round. Still boxing clever and smart on the back foot, but putting a little bit more weight behind the shots. But you can't question Chisora's heart.
He's got a huge heart,
Yeah.
but he's trudging forward and not really letting punches go, and he's picking him off pretty much at will now, Fury.
Derek wants to go out on his shield. He's not going to want anybody to stop it. He's not going to give up. Sometimes you got to do it for him.
Lass gets into range, but nothing meaningful thrown when he does so.
Yeah, he's trying to swing those shots in, but there's no quality behind the work.
Not a lot of energy left. You know what I mean? He's not able to really muster up anything serious.
Interesting that Big Tyson has fought almost exclusively southpaw tonight. Was that premeditated?
Well, we thought of some things to do, throw a little monkey wrench in what their plans were, and it's working. You know, it's something we often we work on fairly often.
Not far off with that big right hand there, Chisora.
Desperate swing, needs to land one. Shutout so far in Fury's favour, surely.
Yeah, it's been everything for Fury, and you couldn't even question it, could you? To be honest.
Yeah, it is one of them situations where it's time to get that towel ready. You know what I mean? No disrespect to him, but he has to be helped.
Marcus McDonald indicating to Tyson Fury how you throw a jab, how you throw a legal punch, and saying that those flicks are not permissible.
But the backhand of the glove, aren't they? So you know the referee would be correct on that point. But the jab's been good tonight from Fury.
Fury catching Chisora as he came in with a nice little left uppercut.
Yeah, using the ropes well there to avoid the overhand right of Chisora. You just can't get no success, can you? Can't get any success.
I've been impressed with Tyson Fury's focus tonight, though. He has clearly got a game plan, and his concentration levels have been high, and he has just frustrated Chisora from word go.
A lot of what John Charles was saying last round was right in the corner. You know, he told him, you know, use those feet, double a jab, side to side. But
that's another one for Fury. And again, boos from a disappointed crowd.
Yeah, but it's not the sort of advanced level we expected, like the first fight was. And that's mainly down to they're better fighters with better brains. And Fury, Chisora just doesn't want to walk forward and get hit, which is happening. He doesn't want that to happen. He wants to try and be smart. And Tyson's not overcommitting himself. He's working behind the jab patiently, busting him up.
I think he was asking him there quietly so we couldn't hear. I suspect that was the question, do you want to go on?
And I think that's the right question at this point, but you know Derek's going to say yes. He's going to want to continue no matter what.
There comes a point, though, doesn't there? You know better, you know as well as any, you two guys, you've both been there. There comes a point where there has to be a compassion and a strength from the corner if somebody's getting hiding.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I've been safe on my corner when I'm taking absolute hiding, because I would have carried on all day long. Yeah. And you know, you can be too brave for your own good.
Absolutely. Into the 8th round. And the pattern continues the same. Still southpaw. And still Fury just picking him off from range. And using decent footwork to stay away from what lunging attacks Chisora is able to produce.
Notice he's not using too much of the ring either. He's staying in range to punch. Even at, you know, his long arm distance. Still at range enough to punch and land some decent shots on Derek as he moves.
Well, I think that's smart, even though you expect him to use the ring, dance around, I think that gives Derek momentum to move forward, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, definitely.
And also, you can't plant your feet to land any weight in the punches. I guess that would be a part of it.
Very true.
Well, now Tyson Fury reverts to orthodox. Switches, so he's leading with his left jab.
Right now, Derek doesn't know up, down, left, or right now. He's doing so many different things and throwing so many different kinds of punches in different stances. It's giving him a lot of trouble.
Is Tyson naturally right-handed?
I think so. I don't even know anymore.
I just wondered if you throw a ball at him, what would he catch it with, right or left?
I would think right. But in the boxing ring, ambidextrous, I guess, huh?
Chisora now struggling to find anything worthwhile.
To be honest, I've got to be honest, this Tyson Fury display, which is controlled and measured, something we're not used to seeing him keep his discipline. It's a little bit like a political display.
Yeah.
In that he's not taking any risks, just happy just to take things behind the long jab.
Referee what's going to tell him, let's see some more action. Well, what's the point?
But listen, this is boxing. You know what I mean? We're fighting for a living. We're getting paid. We're not trying to take any unnecessary risk just for don't get me wrong, we are fighting for the fans, but we had to think about our health as well, and we also had to think about our futures in boxing. So don't get me wrong, I understand the ref has to do his job, but so do we.
Well, you wouldn't even think that Tyson would have to do anything else but do what he's doing now. He's throwing behind the jab and he's winning convincingly.
It's a class, to me, it's a class performance.
Chisora trying to load up that right hand, still coming forward. More optimism than perhaps a couple of rounds ago. Oh dear.
To be honest, that's better from Fury. You start to feel now that he could start to turn the screws a little bit now, be a little bit more adventurous.
There's a right hand from Chisora. Fury saw it coming, and that's another round for the big man.
Yeah, stay more relaxed, going back, just catching him. Yeah. Yeah, what round is this? Number 9 coming up? Yep. Deep press. Listen, just do that, what you're doing, catching him, put that straight left down the pipe. Yeah, faint him up, just keep turning him like he's doing the hooks, and you'll see his legs buckle, and he won't last long.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep now. More vicious.
Where's that zip, man? I need some zip, footwork, zip, sharper, everything. I need it fast. Yeah? Stop thinking too much. Come on, man. Come on,
So into the 9th round. Fury winning by a street. Derek Chisora, he's going to have to find a knockout if he's going to win this one.
That's not a way to be in a fight. You have to look for a knockout, because then it's very, very easy to see him coming. Because now he's looking for big shots, and he has to. That's almost his only chance.
This is a WBO title eliminator, Vladimir Klitschko, the champion, although Klitschko has got a new deal in place, which would seemingly lead him towards boxing in the USA, and Deontay Wilder, I think, is the man who's being manoeuvred towards a fight against him. I think that's the reality of the situation, whatever the eliminator status here might be. So although Fury might win this one, I don't think you'd automatically expect Klitschko to be following on from there.
Yeah, it's a business, and I think Vladimir is looking in other ways, especially looking at a performance like this. Not the kind of guy you want to test right now, especially late in your career.
Thought he was terrifically impressive, though, in his win against Pulev, one of his career best performances.
Yeah. But even then, 38 years old, it's starting to come down. You don't want to fight one of these young lions like this if you don't have to.
No, sure.
You know what I mean? So we'll see.
And Deontay Wilder, for all his punch power, he's a little bit chinny.
Yeah, and very one-dimensional, not necessarily coming forward, but wild swings, big right hands you can see coming. You know what I mean? So, may rather go in that direction than this one.
Assuming, of course, that Fury continues doing what he's doing.
No guarantees.
Chisora not finding anything really to put Fury in any sort of trouble here, and I don't think he's seeing a lot out of that right eye now.
He's knackered as well, John. He looks really tired.
He has a championship heart, though, because he's going to keep coming no matter what. He's taking a heck of a beating, and he's still ticking. He's still coming forward and trying.
You can't fault his commitment, his bravery, his toughness. But his tactics, he just haven't thrown enough punches. And maybe you got to give Tyson a bit of credit for that. But still, you got as a fighter, you got to learn to adjust, haven't you?
Yeah, you have to. But that's the thing. Derek was a very one-dimensional fighter, and we knew that going in. You know what's coming, but. That's been his greatest strength, and tonight that's also been his weakness.
Trying to find that big right hand. Needs to land one of those, but Fury at the moment is not being caught off guard in any sense by those. He's seeing them coming, and even there, thrown from close range, he was able to get the glove up to partially block the shot.
Yeah, it's become surprisingly an easy night's work, hasn't it, for Tyson Fury? Which was, I picked him to win, but I didn't think it'd be an easy night like this. I thought he would have moments of anxiety in there with Chisora. But Chisora's been, for me, Chisora's been pretty poor tonight.
If you were in the corner, would you pull him out?
Absolutely.
I think so, John. You know, he's a mile behind. He's taking a bit of a beating without really going down or looking really seriously hurt. But he's just getting bashed up for nothing now.
Is that 10? What round is it?
Coming up now towards the 10th round.
This is 10, yeah. I want you to stay tight. I want to push you. I want everything tight, okay? Come on, man. It's now or never. Do you hear me? No regrets tomorrow morning. No crying tomorrow morning.
Well, he's going into the 10th. I wonder whether this might be the final throw of the dice.
I think so. I think it should be. You know what I mean? Like, we know Derek is brave, but you can see him on that stool. No confidence, no nothing. He's just coming in here strictly on heart. You know what I mean? He needs help.
No tears in the morning was what he said. What you've got left, give it now. But I don't think there is a great deal left. Hasn't been for some time.
I don't know whether I'm impressed or not with Tyson Fury. I mean, it's been a good display. I don't know whether I'm impressed with his reluctance to overcommit, because usually he's a little bit erratic, isn't it? His erraticness is usually what gets him into trouble. So that's an improvement. That's good. But also, I think he could have thrown a few more shots. He could have done a little bit more.
I guess it's me. I guess, yeah.
I think he could have got Chisora out there, maybe. But
if you'd spent your money, if you'd spent 500 quid to sit at ringside, you might be saying that. But I mean, it's all about getting the W, and there's been no sense at any stage that he was going to lose this fight.
And there's a lot of stake. I understand, a lot of stake. There's a world title fight looming for the winner. No, but I'm a little bit impressed with how he has kept his composure. You know, there was always the worry, wasn't it, with Tyson Fury? Is
could he do that? Yeah.
I don't want to call him a little bit mad, but I just said it. I'm like, you know, he can lose his temper. He can be quite erratic.
Yeah.
Not tonight. It's been just, like I say, it's been a Klitschko type performance.
He's looked measured and calm. Might not have enthralled the fans, and there's a few boos again around the arena. But he's done a number on Chisora. You only need to look at him.
For being this dominant, you know what I mean? It's not his fault that the guy at this point now, he can't come forward, is willing to come forward. You know, he's catching punches coming in, he's catching punches going back. I mean, you know, what is he to do, you know? And now at this point, you know, for the fans, come forward and to give your opponent the opportunity now to catch you in something that you're not supposed to get caught with, then we would be complaining about something else, you know?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Chisora just backpedaling now, not even on the front foot, and just soaking it up.
But certainly Chisora calling Fury on. Oh, lovely right hand, left hand, back left hand there from Tyson Fury, looking at the referee as well.
No, I think Tyson would like this one to be finished now, and I think I tend to agree.
It's about that time, ref. Time to step in there. Save this man.
Doesn't look as though there's anything left now from Chisora. Closing stages of this 10th round, and like every round before it, Fury has dominated and is adding another 10 points to his tally.
Yeah, and it's been a mature display, hasn't it, from Tyson Fury?
Oh, it's time. Come on, ref. Get in there.
Well, that's from the side where he's not seeing. He's not slipping anything now.
That should be it, right there.
Is he going to pull him out? I think he probably should.
Yeah, that's it.
No point.
I think that's it. It's been a sad night for Derek Chisora. He's saying, give me the gum shield. Chisora wants to fight on. Don Charles wants to pull him out.
Yeah, give me a second. Right, champ.
And I think he's going to do that.
I want you to finish in your feet. Yeah? Yes, come out of there, yeah? Okay, go ahead.
It's finished. Reluctantly, I think Derek Chisora has agreed, and the fight is over. And Tyson Fury, in a fight he has dominated from word go, wins this one. A little nice bit of compassion at the end from the big man, and to be fair, Tyson Fury was imploring the referee to finish that fight, and I think that Derek Chisora could have been pulled out of there a couple of rounds earlier. He's taken an absolute hiding in there, and at no stage did he look like winning it, Barry.
No, not at all, John. From the first round, every round was pretty much the same, wasn't it? Yeah. Fury dominated behind the jab, lovely uppercuts, and even those few times where Chisora did try and commit himself, he just walked onto punches. And you know, Tyson Fury's matured. I think Derek was a better fighter than the first fight. It just shown that Fury has improved more than Chisora had. And there's no shame now. He's lost to a guy who might go on to win the world title.
Well, Derek Chisora, not in a good way. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he's taken off to hospital for a precautionary examination, because he's taken a sustained beating in there tonight. And Tyson Fury, well, he might not get Klitschko next, but he has confirmed that he's very much in the top echelon.
That's it.
And in a moment we will get the announcement. The belts are up there, and Jimmy Lennon Jr. is poised with the microphone in his hand and telling us what we know, that Tyson Fury has won this fight because Derek Chisora's corner have retired him, and rightly so.
Gentlemen, upon suggestion of the corner, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 10. He is the winner by way of technical knockout, the winner of the WBO heavyweight eliminator, now the European and two-time British heavyweight champion, the undefeated Tyson Fury.
The undefeated run goes on. What the future has in store, well, we will see. But what he's proved emphatically here today is that he was very much the superior man against Derek Chisora, who was brave, ultimately perhaps too brave.
Thank you, John. John Rawling, Barry Jones, Eddie Chambers, your commentary team at ringside here tonight, and an emphatic victory for the new British and European heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. And Gary Lockett, you have to say, if you were in Fury's corner, you would say he boxed entirely to orders and made it a very straightforward night for himself.
Yeah, I think if he'd stepped on the gas, I think he could have got him out of there any time he wanted to. The obstacle was just too hard for Derek Chisora tonight. I said I didn't think it would be too different to fight as the first fight. I know Derek was in better shape, but as I say, Tyson's improved, used his jab really well. And again, I don't know if he does this on purpose. He fought almost the entire fight as a southpaw and looked just as good.
A very one-sided fight, surprisingly so. And you say things you might regret before fights. Derek Chisora said, "I'm in for a very, very easy night."
We knew we weren't going to be easy. I just thought that Tyson Fury, because he likes to fight too much, he might sway from his game plan, might get caught about round 9 or 10, but kept to the game plan. Fantastic performance. You know, to me, I think Tyson Fury has grown up as a fighter tonight. You know, a couple of years ago, maybe he would have tried to get involved and try and finish the job and made mistakes, and you know, obviously got caught with a sucker shot. But tonight he was fantastic. Used that jab well, used his range well. Those uppercuts were tremendous.
He has grown up as a fighter. Fantastic night for Tyson Fury. Here he is with Alex.
Yes, Tyson, Derek said it was going to be his easiest fight. In the end, it turned out to be quite comfortable for you. What was the secret tonight?
You know, first of all, I'd like to dedicate this fight to my Uncle Huey, who can't be here tonight, you know. Second of all, Peter, my Uncle Peter. What you got to say about it?
Listen, you know,
I'm very emotional.
I'm very proud of him. You know, he stuck to instruction. It's not about loading up. This was a very important fight to get the W. You know, he's using his brains now. He's boxing. He clearly had a lot more tools than Derek. He used them, and you know, to do this in memory of my brother, sensational.
And what a performance to do that as well. What sort of statement, given this was an eliminator for Klitschko's title, what sort of statement do you think you sent out there tonight? You boxed southpaw for periods.
Who, another heavyweight on the world, can box southpaw against a world-class fighter like Derek, who I believe can give any other heavyweight out there a hard run for his money. And to be honest, I never really took many blows. I'm very proud of my performance. I dedicate it to my Uncle Hughie. My Uncle Peter got me there, along with all the Spire and all the boys in the gym. Big shout out to my dad, who I know's watching. He's probably crying by now. He's coming home to Manchester. La, la, la.
Let's bring Mick Hennessy in. Mick, come in, because officially this was supposed to be an eliminator for Klitschko's WBO. What's the situation? When can we get Klitschko in a ring? Will it be in Britain? Will you have to go to Germany or America?
Well, look, Tyson's mandatory now. Vladimir's being allowed one more fight in March/April, and after that they're going to call for purse bids. They're going to give us a month's private negotiation, then purse bids, then the big fight's on with Vladimir Klitschko.
So June or July?
June or July, or worst ways, early September, October. But the big fight's on with Vladimir. All he's got to do is step up and take it and not swerve it.
And what happens in that fight when you finally get him in the ring?
Vladimir Klitschko, I'm coming for you, baby. I'm coming. No turning back now. No retreat, no surrender. Gypsy Warrior!
Enjoy the night. Well done.
Just like to say that we've got another show on the 28th of February around there. Tyson will be out again on Box Nation. So his next fight is around February, that's for sure.
Excellent. We're enjoying the ride. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
And we will look forward to seeing Tyson Fury again right here on Box Nation towards the